verse 15 and 16 out of New King James says, then he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into his fields to feed swine. Now stop right here. It says he joined himself to a citizen of that country. So he went to a guy that was lived there and said, "Hey, I need a job. I'll do whatever you want me to do." And the man gave him a job feeding pigs. Now this is a Jewish guy.
Yeah.
He's the unclean. There can't be anything more demeaning to a Jewish man than to raise pigs. So he was so desperate that he just took whatever he could get, and it ended up being the absolute bottom of the barrel in terms of what an occupation for a Jewish man, right? And,
Yeah.
and verse 16 says, and he would gladly have filled his stomach with the pods that the swine ate, and no one gave him anything. So sounds like he's working for free. Sounds like he's working for room and board. Because
Wow.
they say he's hungry. He's so hungry, he's thinking of what he's feeding the pigs look good to him. Something. So so this is the definition of going out on your own and striking out. He ain't winning nowhere, no way, no how. He just he found out that I don't have the resources within myself to get myself out of this terrible, terrible condition.
That's crazy. I mean, it's it makes me wonder, why is it that we have to get to this place of destitution before we're ready to self-evaluate? Because like when I was reading through this story, I'm asking myself, I'm like, so did he even realize that he was lost? Did he realize he was lost? Uh, I mean, there are times that we, when we go off on this tangent, this different path, uh, we think we're following the right path because it's our lives. It's something that we want to do. We're doing our own thing, but we don't recognize that we're on the wrong path until we come to this place where we look around and we're asking ourselves, how did I get here?
Yeah, yeah, and that's a great point. When we're in the midst of living our lives according to what we want to do, how we feel, um, that puts us on the path that we're going into this far country.
Yeah,
We are putting ourselves in a position to where if we continue on this path, we're going to look up one day and realize that we are lost. But when you're in the midst of self-indulgence, um, you are on you are in a process of losing yourself because your real identity is only found in God.
that's
Uh,
right.
so when you when you start leading an ungodly lifestyle, when you start doing things that God doesn't want you to do, but you do it because you want to do it, and I'm grown and I can do it. When you continue to indulge in that type of behavior, you know, um, the only thing that will really get your attention is hard times.
That's right.
It's
That's
hard
right.
times because think about it. If you live your life like that and prosperity comes, you'll never you'll never stop. You'll never stop.
Yeah, because we start thinking, hey, I made this, I'm making my own way. I'm doing this. And it's that whole mindset that shifts us from realizing who we really are. And we don't know, we limit ourselves by trying to do things on our own. When the Father has so much more that he can provide for us, and we don't really, and because we are made in his image, we don't really know who we are, what we are capable of, until we start to recognize who he is. When the son was in his father's house, he just took for granted the things, the what it took for his father to gain the wealth, what it took for his father to have that wealth. He's looking at the outcome, but not looking at the pathway, or what it took for him to get there. And we're talking in the natural sense here. Uh, so because he didn't understand or appreciate the work that his father put in to gain the wealth, then when he got the wealth, then he treated it poorly. And because he treated it poorly, then, like you said, he wasn't a good steward of it, then it all went away. And it's all these decisions that we make, thinking that we have the answers, but the choices that we make only lead us to a path of destruction.
And another reason that he didn't value his inheritance the way he should have was because he didn't work for it.
Right.
It was given to him. So in his mind, hey, this is easy, right? He had no what I like to call sweat equity in it.
Right.
I used to tell people when I was teaching in prison, I used to tell people, hey, let's say you and I get out at the same time, and you come to my house and say, hey, said, not doing good, man, need some help. Can you give me $100? And I say, yeah, I give you $100. I say, matter of fact, um, until you get on your feet, if you come by every Friday, I give you $100. Now, if this goes on for several weeks, what are you doing with that $100 during the week? Are you putting it back? Are you holding on to it? No, you're like, well, I can spend it because I can go next Friday and get another 100. But if we are in the same situation and I say, hey, I can give you a job where you can make $100 a week, and then you take that job and start working, you're not blowing that 100. You saving that, you stacking that.
That's right. That's
You
right.
you going to the store and you looking at you got coupons and stuff. You understand?
That's right. That's
I
right.
work for this money. I work for this money. So um, it, that's the other danger with entitlement is when you think that it's people are supposed to give you something
Hmm.
because you're you. That's just a very poor understanding. That's just a foolish way to think. Who are you? You act like it's a privilege, a privilege for me to help you. Who are you?
Yeah.
And this is that whole prideful mindset that Lucifer had in Isaiah chapter 14, um, verses 13 through 14, where he said in his heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mountain of congregation on the farther side of the north. I will. This whole
Oh,
I will, I will, I will. That's what turned Lucifer into the devil. But Jesus' whole thing was not I will, not my will, Father, your will.
that's right. That's
And
right.
this that's what kept him humble. And this is why he was able to navigate the path through this fallen world to come into his destiny as being the Christ.